It's gonna be an interesting day. Hello, 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 hello. No, I'm 7 minutes early. I just want to make sure that everything works perfectly. So you'll have to forgive me, guys. Hi, I hope this goes according to plan. Oh yes, I can see myself. Yes, I can definitely see myself. But the question is, can people hear me? Just need to make sure that everybody can hear me. It's been a while. I don't even remember how to do this anymore. It's been a very long time since I went live with this thing. But I'm hoping that at least one person joins the live and we can have a whoa, okay, I see you guys, I see you. I hope you guys can hear me because I'm not quite sure that everybody can hear me. Please just type something in the message thing if you can hear me, so that I know that we're working perfectly. But yeah, it should be functioning. Fingers crossed. 35 people. Can they hear me? Let's see. I'm hoping that everybody can hear me at the moment. For now, I'm not quite sure. Oh, fantastic, Cabo. Okay, I love this. I love the sound of that. Listen, I am... fantastic. I'm loving this. Okay, it's been a long time, guys. It's been over a year since I did this, so you guys have to forgive me because I sort of don't even remember how to do some of these cool things that I used to do back in the days. And Tabiso, everybody, I'm loving this. This is all fantastic. I'm glad that at least everybody can actually hear me. John Joseph is there as well. You know, the only thing that I'm not happy about with Ecamm Live is the fact that I obviously cannot share your comments onto the other side, guys, which really is not nice. Hey, Mishkai Pile. Oh man, memories. I've worked with this young lady at Standard Bank a while ago. Makes me feel a bit old, so I hope but yeah, no, I hope everybody can hear me because and I'm glad because at least on the LinkedIn side everybody can hear me. I'm not sure about YouTube because I haven't seen anybody yet, but obviously I just only posted this about 10 minutes ago to say I'll be going live, so I wouldn't be surprised if not many people actually saw that I was going live on YouTube. But yes, I'm definitely here. And the only annoying thing about Ecamm is I have to keep checking the messages on my phone to see what some of the questions that you guys are asking. But I think it's going to be fantastic that we get to hear this. But yeah, let's do. Yeah, I've added the applause as well. I think you can add anything these days. I've got the right equipment. I'm ready for the rest of the world. 34 people already checking me out. That is fantastic, guys. I actually didn't think there'll be even 5 people joining my crazy live. But I want to come back to doing this again. It's the one thing that I really loved. I've always loved doing these videos and answering as many questions as possible. So if you guys do have any questions that you might want me to answer specifically that you haven't had anybody answer for you in the last couple of years or in the last couple of months. I think the last time I went live was maybe July last year. So it's been over a year since I've been live on this thing. So a delay. Ooh. Okay, that is not good. I hate it when there's a delay. Let's hope that I can fix that. Just give me a second. There shouldn't be a delay. Oh man. Okay, let's see. Yeah, just only the Ecamm. Yeah, that should be where it should be. Wait, hold on. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, I'm not sure what's happening now because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm lost at the moment. Yep. Hey, Kanye, Matsiri Somoyeng, thank you so much. Guys, can you all hear the delay? Should I be fixing something? Should I be breaking something to try and fix this delay? Because I hate it when the delay is there. It shouldn't be there at all. But yeah, so anything else, guys? Like, if you can hear the delay, if it's not only Matsidi, so please let me know, because I really hate the idea that you guys cannot hear me. That is not good at all. Yes. Okay. What questions do you guys have? What do you want me to tackle? Because I think that's one of the things that I wanted to try and do. Obviously, we're gonna fully go live in the next 2 minutes. We are sort of live on the side. Okay, no delay on my side. Fantastic. Audio is fine. Okay, there is a few people that are saying that the audio is perfect. Matili, so maybe check. I'm not sure if it's something on your side, or yeah, I could be repeating myself somewhere, but yeah, it shouldn't be there. Rachel Gibbs. Okay, I'm just gonna do a quick shout out because it's, like I said, I haven't been doing this for a very long time. So Kabu, one of the first people to actually join, thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. We then have Helatezi. Welcome to this craziness that we've got. Clementine, welcome. Shemaine, welcome. Tabiso Matseke, welcome as well. John Joseph, welcome to this awesome craziness. And then Mishkai, as I've already said, I've worked with this young lady a few years ago at the Blue Bank before I joined another bank. And then we've got Matili, so welcome. Kanyi Kudzwari, welcome. Precious Zwani, welcome also. Duduzile S, welcome. Rachel Gibbs, welcome. Cassius Ramutla, welcome. And Ada Mutsuse, welcome, guys. So like I said, I think this is going to be a quick Q&A session. I'm going to do this live for only about 30 minutes, so it's not going to run for too long. So because I think, as I mentioned, I haven't done this in a very long time, and I thought maybe the best way to come back to doing these again, I should just do a quick Q&A for anybody to ask any questions about talent acquisition or recruitment, or even the other topic that I'm always scared of jumping into, which is talking about moving overseas or relocation. If you have any questions about that, please let us talk about them. I might not have answers for everything, especially when it comes to the relocation side of things, because I know some of the guys sometimes ask me about the relocation. For those that might not be aware, I moved to Switzerland about almost 3 years by September. So in about 2 months' time, I would have been here for 3 years now, and it's been a very interesting journey. So if you might want to know about that, please do ask away. There's a few videos that I wanted to tell you guys about that are coming up in the next couple of weeks that I'll be focusing a lot of my energy on. One of those is how to use Bard or AI to actually make sure that you have the best resume out there that can beat any ATS system that anybody can put at you. Now, there's a few companies, for example, that are using ATSs to screen out candidates, which is not an illegal thing. It's actually a fantastic thing, because you're able to then screen out people that do not have the skills that you're looking at. But there are ways of getting around that and making sure that your resume always scores a lot higher, especially when the recruiter uses that. So in the next couple of weeks, I'll be shooting videos about that, where you guys can, get to see how to do it, how to make sure that you tailor your resume per job that you're applying to. It takes you less than 5 minutes, and I'll show you live in some of the sessions that we're having to show you guys exactly how to do it, so it doesn't take that long to use AI. So AI is the conversation that everybody's talking about. All these big models and big data and this and that. There's an easier way as a candidate to make sure that your resume is always the best. So I'll sort that out. And then Rachel says, I'm interested in pay transparency. How are you seeing it affecting the talent acquisition or recruitment space? Listen, pay transparency is actually one of those conversations that we need to honestly have. I think it affects recruitment in a much more positive way. One of the biggest issues that we've had when it comes to pay transparency is that I think a lot of companies have got a lot of cleaning up to do when it comes to pay transparency to say how much they're paying their different employees. And the cleaning up normally comes from there's a lot of legacy where there's different roles with different job titles, or so many roles with the same job titles but doing completely different things with different complexities. And it's always sometimes tricky when it comes to that conversation, mainly because you could be called a client service support in one area, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing exactly the same thing as another client support person who needs 10 or 15 more extra qualifications to be able to do the job. Pay transparency is also good when it comes to gender. The gender pay, I think one of the companies that I work for now recently got given a certificate for having a transparent, or rather equal pay between amongst all genders, which is fantastic. And it's always nice as a company to be able to talk about that. So those are some of the things that we currently have. But I do think it's a fantastic idea to start getting more companies to actually start sharing that. Where it affects us, it's one, it reduces the chances of people's time being wasted, whether it's a recruiter, whether it's an employee, or whether it's a hiring manager. Mainly because if you know exactly, for example, how much the job pays, you're able to apply for it knowing exactly how much it pays without having to just apply for the job just because it's there. So pay transparency, it's a fantastic topic, but it also depends, Rachel, where you mean by pay transparency. If we're talking about gender pay transparency, or we're talking about just general pay transparency. So yeah, it's we go in the right direction. I mean, in New York, for example, or in the US, it's now mandatory to make sure that if you advertise a job, you have how much that job pays, so that everybody knows exactly how much it pays. So yeah, very interesting topic, but yeah, we'll see where everything goes. And also the only tricky thing, Rachel, about pay transparency is that normally legislation needs to follow suit as well, because it's sometimes very tricky for other companies to catch up. If the legislation doesn't necessarily, get companies to do it, it becomes a very tricky topic for most employers to actually just do it. So that's one of the interesting things. And then Tabiso Matseke says, career transitions. I'm currently in the middle management position in the public sector, and with plans to transition to QS or construction sector, because I would need to take up more trainee based roles to transition to PRQS or okay, these are all abbreviations. I have no idea what they mean, so I'm just going to read them out as they are. Any advice or strategies to manage this transition? So I think, Tabiso, there's one of the easiest ways that I always share advice with people when it comes to transitioning, whether it's a change of jobs, responsibilities, or anything, is that I always say to people, you always need to prove to the other company that you're willing to do a bit more. So there's two ways. Number one is, sometimes you are going to go back a few steps because certain roles require you to go back a few steps when it comes to your career. Sometimes you need to make sure the easiest way that you can actually transition into a new role, my advice is always within your current company. It's easier for you to go to a company and say, listen, I know you pay me X. I'd like to transition into another role, and I know I'll start at a junior level. Can you give me the opportunity? And in most cases, they'll keep your salary at the same range that you are already being paid at. So that's one of the beauties of doing it internally. If you're willing to do it externally, what I also advise a lot of people to do is to make sure that you do a few courses. There's LinkedIn learning that you can do. So there's a few courses on LinkedIn that will give you a few certificates. And what's also very nice about that is you'll really learn about that job more than just what you've heard about it. You learn into a bit more details because you're studying it. if you apply for a job and you can show that you've actually been studying something like that within that particular space, a lot more companies are willing to give you that opportunity. So first advice, try it in your current company. If you can't do it in your current company, then you can also try and move to other companies. But you need to make sure that before you move, you do a few courses that can show that you want to learn in that particular space. And then the third thing that you need to also be aware of is the fact that salary-wise, you might not necessarily earn what you used to earn in that particular role. So that's just some of the things that you need to be very much aware of that you might have to really deal with going forward. So it's not easy, but yeah, transitioning is it's an easier process if you've done things the right way. Charmaine, can you share the name of the site I can use to revamp my resume for systems for the systems used? Okay, two different amazing sites that I always recommend. Guys, canva.com is probably one of the simplest sites you can ever use. It's literally assists you in designing the simplest resume possible. So if you ever want to do any resume, it's Canva. It's spelled canva.com. Guys, this is not a sponsored thing. It's just, there was a question. I'm just telling this, I think Charmaine about that. So please just go to canva.com. It has quite a lot of free templates that you can use online. So go there, use those templates. It'll create you the best website. The second thing that we've got is there's two other websites that I know I'm now playing around a lot with. One of them is everybody's spoken about it, which is ChatGPT. The second one is Bard. Bard is part of Google, so it was created by Google. It's AI created by Google. What you can do is you can take your job, or you can take your whatever information is on that job description that you're really interested in, or that looks the part, copy it into Bard and as well as ChatGPT. Make sure that you also copy your CV and ask it to rewrite your conditions to suit what that job is looking for. But you should also make sure that whatever it rewrites, you have those skills. Please don't put information that's not on your skills, because in the interview you're going to fall flat and then you're going to look like you were lying. So my advice is always go create your resume through canva.com. Once you've done that, go into ChatGPT or Bard. Bard is spelled B-A-R-D, and use it to actually help you retailor some of the information that you've got there on your resume. It will really go a long way. So I hope that makes sense. Check out ChatGPT as well as canva.com. I swear by canva.com because I've been using it for the last 3 years or so, especially to use my thumbnails. So please, by all means, go ahead and use that. And the next question from Matiriso saying, should we still be requesting potential job incumbents to submit copies of their pay? Their pay slips when recruiting for a role. Okay, there's two ways I'm going to answer it. So one is, luckily where I'm now at in Switzerland, it's not a requirement. So I will never ask a candidate what their salary is. What we always ask them here is what the expectations are. What are you expecting from a salary point of view? And you then tell us what your expectations are. Normally, a lot of the times it comes with you knowing how much you're worth and also knowing how much that role is actually paying. So a bit of research is very important. In South Africa, however, it's still a requirement that a lot of recruiters still use, where they still try and ask for what is your current pay and can you provide us with a salary. I've done a video a few months ago, I think last year sometime, which was tackling how to say no to a recruiter about sharing your pay slip, but it comes with a few sacrifices. In some cases, a lot of the people that also responded that have said no to recruiters about that. They also know that some of them got overlooked and people didn't respond back to them. So check out that video. I wish I could actually, I had somebody that was working with me here that could just now add the link of that video into the channel. But there is a video that I did that says how to say no to a recruiter when it comes to pay slips. So it's very difficult to say no without thinking that you might not get the opportunity. So just be careful of that. But at the same time, I still do think in 2023, We shouldn't be asking for those CVs, but I know that in some of the cases, it's not necessarily the recruiter that's asking for, not the CV, sorry, shouldn't be asking for pay slips, but I know that the recruiters ask for it because the company or their manager has asked that they prove that that person, whatever they're asking for is the right amount, and. So that's normally the case. So it's not the recruiter that's always asking for that. It's sometimes the policy of the company that says you need to prove that this person that you want to pay R1 million or $1 million, US dollars was being paid the same amount or slightly less. So that's the only problem with that, unfortunately. We shouldn't be requesting it, but it's going to be very difficult for it to change. Also, once again, there's another legislation thing where the legislation needs to change, or the labor law needs to change to accommodate for that. Okay, question. Doing talent in Europe versus South Africa, how did you manage adjusting and trying to build rapport with the stakeholders and getting them to buy into the talent acquisition strategy, especially when it feels like a big change and make execution easier? I think one of the biggest myths that I've had a conversation with one of the people I was coaching last year, who's based in the UK, was they spoke about a company that they went through an interview for. And the company came and said, listen, but you don't have experience in the UK. And one of the things that we need to also understand is that some of the experience can be learned within a month. It's literally stuff that can be learned literally in like a space of 1 month. So in some cases, people sell this idea of we've got different experience in another continent versus your experience. A lot of the things that I think were happening in South Africa from a recruitment point of view were a bit more advanced than what I see in Europe. So the reality is the adjustment also just depends on you. I think if you are lucky enough, like some of us, I was lucky to have somebody that gave me a chance to show them that I can actually do this job. And what then turned out was it became a bit more easier because I could already do all the stuff. So the one thing that we always say, Ada, is it's a recruiter can learn any skill. So you could be coming from an engineering background, recruiting for engineering or developer skills, and move into a finance role in a short period of time, because the principles of recruitment are exactly the same no matter what the job it is. What is very different is a lot of the times in the recruitment space we speak about, we want to now change how we do things and do that, and sometimes you find that the environment doesn't accommodate that. So the transition and the change was easier because of the fact that one, the person that gave me the shot to go work for Lonza, literally she just said, you can do recruitment, you know how to headhunt, you know how to do this, so good luck, let's do this, and gave me a chance. And I literally just took it, ran with it, and I was doing such a good job, well, even if I may say so myself, but it was nice because somebody at least gave me a chance, and then from there it was easier to take it forward. And we also recently had a conversation about unconscious bias and the assumption that people make when you come from a different country. But the reality is it's an easy process. Transitioning from one job to another is pretty easy, especially if it's the same job in another country. So don't be told that you don't have any skills because you didn't come from that country. Cool. Any other questions, guys? I think those are some of the questions that I've just had to answer. As I mentioned, I'm going to tailor quite a few videos that will be about 10 minutes or so. So please, like, whatever you have questions, whenever you have anything that you might want me to address, just put them up on the under the videos, and then I'll always respond to some of them. But like I said, it's videos that are coming are how to use AI to make sure that you've got the best resume, how to put together the best resume, how to negotiate salary. I'm not quite sure about immigration because I think that's a very tricky topic. So I don't think I'm ready to actually tackle that. What I might be able to do is to maybe interview somebody that might know a bit more about immigration. So yeah, any other questions that you guys might have, we probably still have another 5, 6, 7 more minutes so that we can address some of the questions that you have, and then we can take it from there. But this was just, I'm trying to come back. As you can see, I've got a new setup now. it's getting there. Don't worry. For now, I was also, I didn't put up all my lights. As you can see, I still have a ring light up there, but it's just to make sure that at least for this conversation, I'm able to have a thorough conversation with you guys, and I can answer some of the questions that you might have. But yeah, that's basically where we currently stand at the moment, and we will be working to keep on sharing as many of these as possible. Any other questions that you guys have? We still have 2 more minutes. If you have any questions, let's try and deal with them, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, I think there's no more questions. So yeah, so as I mentioned, 31, 32 of you guys that are joined on LinkedIn, thank you so much for joining me. I will do a bit better in the next session. I will give you guys at least a week or a few days in advance to make sure that you guys are able to see this status in advance, and it will have a specific topic that we can address well in advance, so you can bring in all your questions, and then we take it from there. As you can see, I'm sweating, but I've got a fan in the background, but it's not doing what I was hoping it will do. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Have a fantastic day, and yeah, let's keep in touch. Let's connect on LinkedIn. Let's talk everywhere. And yeah, until next time, thank you. Bye.